Hello Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Aquarius, today we're going to go over your overall energy as well as your person's overall energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship, how you guys feel about it, and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. But before we get into tarot, just keep in mind this is a general reading, so this reading may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't, feel free to check out your other placements. Also keep in mind time is fluid, so this could either currently be happening or maybe happening at a later date. But Aquarius, we're going to focus on you first, and then we'll jump over to your person's energy. What's the overall energy for Aquarius, Sun, Rising, and Venus? So if you have codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. Okay, we'll see what that's all about in a second. But what's the overall energy for the person Aquarius is connecting with or will be connecting with? Okay, so we do have trust. The situation's calling for you to have faith. Okay. Okay. It's the overall energy for this connection. Okay. So we do have true love, but then we also have separation. Interesting. Interesting. You know, with true love coming out here, this is very similar to the King and the Queen of Cups in tarot. So currently at the moment, you're definitely connecting with your soulmate. Currently at the moment, you're definitely connecting with somebody that you do have a lot of love for. And I also believe this person does have a lot of love for you as well. Like, I'm getting two people who are just in love with one another. The thing is, though, because there's like a but to all of this, and I feel like it has a lot to do with your energy. How do I explain your energy? It's one of those situations, Aquarius, where it's like, you know you mean well, but you don't know if they do. Like, you know you're in love with them. You just don't know if they are. You know that you have their best interests at heart. You just don't know if they do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why this relationship, at least for you, has been as challenging as it has been, is kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm getting, Aquarius. All right, let's get into this reading and see what's going on here. I am definitely getting that because you know you mean well and you don't know if they do, and because you know you love them but you don't know if they love you, I feel like it causes you to feel the need that you need to kind of be on high alert in this relationship. I feel like it causes you to feel the need that you have to be very, very guarded and very protective, like over your heart space is basically what I'm getting. Okay, let's get into this. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to focus on you first, and then we'll jump over to your person. Just keep in mind that, the roles can be reversed. So as I'm breaking these energies down, you'll be able to figure out who you are in all of this, but let's get into it. How does Aquarius currently view this relationship? Okay, so we do have the Justice card. We also have the Sun as well as the Nine of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Judgment card with the Nine of Swords, and then we also have the Five of Swords, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. I just said this in somebody's reading, but for the life of me, forgot who it was, but somebody got this exact combo, but for the life of me, I forgot who it was. Anyways, let's focus on this energy really quickly first, so that way the reading itself flows and it all makes sense, okay? Currently at the moment, you're connecting with someone that you think you can't trust. Now, with all of that being said, with the Nine of Swords coming out here, this basically represents somebody who's very worried and concerned about something that has yet to occur, that has yet to happen, okay? Now, when it comes down to what you're worried and concerned about, it has a lot to do with this person betraying you one day and deceiving you one day is basically what I'm getting. So that's what you're worried and concerned about, is that you could be potentially connecting with somebody who's going to one day betray you and deceive you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, now I want to leave this for last, but that's what's going on with you. You're connecting with somebody that you don't trust entirely, that you're worried and concerned is going to eventually hurt you, betray you, or deceive you in some way, shape, or form. Now, with the Judgment card, that's kind of telling me, even despite the fact that, you found yourself feeling like you couldn't fully trust this person. With Judgment coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you try your hardest to give this person, as well as this dynamic between the two of you, a chance. And it's mainly because at the end of the day, this is somebody that you have a lot of love for. This is somebody that you care for deeply. And this is somebody that you really, really do want to be with. But I feel like over time, things became very challenging and difficult for you within this dynamic that you share with this person because of this energy right here. The energy of not trusting them, the energy of you being worried and concerned that one day, you know, they're going to betray you and basically deceive you. Now, with all of that being said, it's pretty evident to me that you don't have any sort of peace of mind within your relationship with this person because of the reasons why I already mentioned. And there's times where a lot of you feel like you would be better off without them than with them in your life. And the reason why a lot of you feel you would be better off without them in your life is because you know that, you know, when it's all said and done and you're not with them and they're not with you anymore, you don't have to worry anymore about this person one day betraying you or deceiving you, because technically speaking, you guys are not together. You know what I mean? And this is what initially causes you to feel like you would be better off, you know, without this person in your life versus with them in your life. Now, just because you believe that you would be better off without this person, you know, in your life doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to bring this relationship to an end or anything like that. But it also doesn't mean that you won't. So obviously we're going to see how this all plays out and what you decide to do in the end in regards to your current situation. But here's something that I do want to let you know when it comes down to your worries and your concerns about this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. And I'm sure that it's going to reflect on their behalf, because I'm sure that it will. But when it comes down to your worries and your concerns about this person one day betraying you and or deceiving you, in this specific deck, the Modern Witch deck that I have, there's two Ten of Swords. So we have the Ten of Swords that literally says the Ten of Swords. And then we also have, you know, the Ten of Swords that says everything is fine, which this is basically the one that you got, the one that says everything is fine. Now, with the swords in tarot, the swords basically represent our thoughts in tarot. So with that being said, when it comes down to your worries and your concerns about this person betraying you one day, deceiving you one day, or this entire situation backfiring in your face in some way, shape, or form, this is basically Spirit's way of telling you, like, hey, like, I get it, you're worried and you're concerned that, you know, this, then the third is going to happen, but it's not going to happen. 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 Now, if you would have gotten the Ten of Swords that says the Ten of Swords, then that's a different story. The likelihood of your worries and your concerns coming true is very, very likely to happen. But because you have the Ten of Swords that says everything is fine, whatever it is you're worried and concerned this person's going to do to you one day, they're not actually going to do to you one day. And this is why you're getting this card out here. Look at it as like Spirit's way of just telling you, like, hey, get it. You think you have everything to worry about, but you don't actually have anything to worry about. Okay. So because this is already coming out that you're basically connecting with somebody that you technically speaking can trust, even though you think you can't. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's going to reflect on their behalf. You know, that this person's very committed and devoted to you. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're going to get, just considering the fact that these cards came out for you. I mean, I feel like it kind of already revealed, you know, that you are dealing with somebody who actually does love you. You are dealing with somebody who actually does care about you. You're actually dealing with somebody who is very committed and devoted to you and has zero intentions of hurting you. But like I said, I'm sure we're going to see that reflect on their behalf. But let's get into it. How does this person currently view this relationship with Aquarius? How does this person currently view this relationship with Aquarius? Okay, so we have the King of Wands. Okay, we have the Judgment card, and then we also have the King of Pentacles. How do I explain it? It kind of feels like the Five of Wands, Five of Swords, Knight of Swords energy. that I'm kind of getting here off of this person anyways. I feel like this person at times tends to get very frustrated within this dynamic that they share with you. And I feel like it is due to, you know, you not trusting them, or you thinking that you can't trust them, or you thinking that one day they're going to play you or do this, then the third to you. You know what I mean? I feel like at times this person tends to get very like frustrated with you, and it's mainly because this person feels like you're projecting what you went through in your previous relationship onto them. They also feel, which they don't like, because I am specifically getting that they don't like that you do this to them, but this person doesn't like the fact that you make it seem, I guess, like they're just like your ex when they're not. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm just kind of getting that this person, like, I feel like they try their hardest to like be extremely patient and compassionate and understanding with you, but I feel like there's times where this person does kind of get really aggravated with you because you constantly find yourself you know, thinking that they're just like your ex, or making it seem like they're just like your ex when they're not. And what makes them mad even more is that they know, you know, they're nothing like your ex, but you still choose to think the things that you think about them. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Now, we have the King of Wands to the King of Pentacles. So it kind of looks like in the past you were dealing with a King of Wands like energy, which, you know, could definitely explain what's going on your end, as far as like you feeling like you can't really trust this person entirely. You know, a King of Wands is like a playboy playgirl like energy. You know, it's like, you know, a player basically. So with that being said, there's a huge possibility that prior to you meeting this person, maybe you were dealing with somebody who wasn't serious about you. Maybe you were dealing with somebody who was constantly lying to you left and right, and you know, playing you left and right, and deceiving you left and right, and gaslighting you left and right, and, you know, lying to you left and right. Maybe you were dealing with somebody who was like this in the past. But this person, though, that you currently find yourself connecting with is nothing like this person that you used to be involved with, aka this player over here. The King of Wands is literally like the polar opposite of a King of Pentacles like energy. A King of Pentacles doesn't have freaking time to sit up here and play all these games like a King of Wands does. You know, a King of Wands is somebody who makes time to play games. You know what I mean? A King of Pentacles is just too grown for that. You know what I mean? Like, a King of Pentacles is somebody who's at that stage, you know, in their life where, you know, they're just looking for somebody that they can settle down with and build towards a life with. This person that you're connecting with is very committed and very devoted to you and what they share with you. You know, this person also comes off to me as somebody who's not playing games with you. Like, this person doesn't have time for all of that, nor do they want to make time for all of that. Now, here's what I do want to kind of throw out there, just to put things into perspective. This person that you were dealing with in the past more than likely was very immature, especially for their age. And here's why I say all of this. I feel like this person from your past, as well as this person that you currently find yourself connecting with, they're around the same age. Like, they could be the exact same age, or they're around the same age. But I feel like this person that you're currently with just kind of like matured a lot faster than, like, you know, this person that you were once upon a time romantically involved with. So when this person was with you, playing all these games with you and manipulating you and gaslighting you and doing all these things to you, you know, this person was out there somewhere being committed and devoted and loyal to someone. You see what I mean? Like, I just feel like this person that you're currently connecting with just kind of like matured a lot faster than this human that, you know, you were once upon a time romantically involved with. I also feel like it has a lot to do with the way that this person was raised. I am definitely getting that as well. I feel like it has a lot to do with the way that they were raised too. But yeah, like, these two are like the polar opposite of one another. Like, at this point, like, I'm not saying that you have been doing this, but I'm just going based off of their energy and what came out. This whole, like, you constantly making it seem like, you know, they're just like your ex, or they're going to do you like your ex, and, you know, all that stuff. I'm not saying that this is what you do, but I mean, if I'm going based off of them and what I'm seeing here, according to them, this is what you do. All right. So let's just go based off of according to them. Right. to be honest, it's just they just don't like it. They just don't like it. They just don't like it. And I feel like they tend to get very angry and frustrated because it's like a constant thing where you're constantly doing this to them. You're constantly, making it seem like they're like your ex. And the most frustrating thing of it all that I'm getting with them is that they know they're nothing like your ex, but they also know that that they're nothing like your ex, but you still choose to think that they're just like your ex is basically what I'm getting. But yeah. Basically, I just kind of feel like this person wishes like you were more like them, if that makes sense. Like, for example, the person that they were like committed and devoted to like prior to getting involved with you, the way that person was with them, they're not walking up into your life, making it seem like you're just like their ex, or insinuating that you're just like their ex, or thinking that you're going to do them just like their ex. You know what I mean? This person understands that you're not their ex. They understand you're a whole nother person. You're nothing like them. They understand that you and this person's ex, y'all are just polar opposites of one another. The both of you are polar opposites of one another, and they see that and they understand that. And they just kind of wish you were more like that too, where you would just accept the fact that, okay, like, this person's nothing like my ex, like, so let me stop thinking that they are, believing that they are, or making it seem like they are. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm still trying to recover from a cold. How does Aquarius currently feel? How does Aquarius... No, that's too much. I'm not taking that. How does Aquarius currently feel? All right, better. Okay, I really wasn't expecting this to show up, but let's talk about it. We have the Chariot, we got the Knight of Wands, and then we also have the King of Wands. Okay. All right, so you really do believe. Okay, let's just throw that out there. Let's just establish this now. Like, you legit believe. Like, legit believe that you're dealing with like a Playboy like energy. Like, you legit believe this. And with the Chariot coming out here, like, this to me kind of feels like an energy of you very like determined to like prove to yourself that you're right about them. That they are this Playboy like energy, and that they're not actually serious about you. And that that they're just like your ex. Like, you're very determined to like, prove it to yourself. Because you believe that, you're right about this person. You truly believe that you are right about this person. You don't see it though. That's my thing. It's like, it's literally in your face. It's literally in your face. It's like the moment I saw this, I'm just like, all right, okay, well, I'm gonna break this down. You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it. Look at this. The person that sits in the Chariot is the Emperor. Okay. Now, the person you think they are is of a King of Wands, right? Again, it's like there's this whole like you thinking that they're just like your ex or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like you think that this person's just like your ex. Meanwhile, while you're here trying to like prove to yourself, right, that no, they're a player. I just know it. It's like, you just don't see that you're not actually dealing with a King of Wands. You're actually dealing with a King of Pentacles / Emperor like status. Here's your person, right? This is your person. This one right here. And here you are, Knight of Wands energy, very determined. You know what I mean? Very determined to prove to yourself that you are dealing with a Playboy Playgirl like energy. You can't even see that you're not even dealing with a Playboy Playgirl like energy because you're too caught up in trying to prove to yourself that they actually are, when in all actuality they're not. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Anyways, so we have the Empress out here, right? So true pair situation between you and this human. You guys are very compatible to one another. You guys mesh very well with one. You know what? This person from your past, that's another thing too. It's like, I know, like if you're being, like if you were to just take a moment and be real with yourself, I think that you would agree with everything I'm about to say. This King of Wands that you used to deal with, they didn't value or appreciate you and all that you did for them. You know that it's true. You know that it's true. They didn't value or appreciate you and everything that you did for them. This person actually values and appreciates you and everything that you do for them. And they go as far as to return the favor. Okay? This person that you used to deal with, they didn't do all of that. That's too much work. That's too much work. They didn't do all of that. And you know they didn't do all of that. You see what I mean? Like you were the type of person that would literally go out of your way to do something nice for them, to do something special for them. They either never did it or they rarely ever did it. This person though, it's like this is that type of person that'll literally go out of their way to do something nice for you, to do something special for you. Something that this person from your past never did for you or they rarely ever did for you. Like it's like a once in a blue, you know what I mean? And when they do, it's like you probably went as far as to ask this person like, hey, are you okay? You feeling well? Are you feeling well? Is everything okay? You know? It's like it's like it's in your face, but it's like you just don't want to, like, I don't know, like see it or accept it. I don't know. It's like I feel like deep down inside, you know. Like, you know that this person's nothing like this person that you used to deal with. Like, I think that you know that. I feel like your 3D reality with this person has been showing you that. But it's like, you're like, no. I feel like this person's a player. I feel like this person's out to get me. I just feel like this person doesn't have my best interest at heart. And I know that I'm right about them. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. You know, yeah. Say, for example, this person tells you, babe, I'm going to go to the grocery store real quick. You might automatically think to yourself, they're not really going to the grocery store. They're actually going to some girl's house or to some guy's house, just for you to find out that they actually went to the grocery store after all. And that they didn't actually go to some girl's house. They didn't actually go to some, you know, guy's house. And for some of you, you might even go as far as to, like, even convince yourself, right? When you do find out, like, oh, like, they didn't actually go, you know, to some girl's house or to some guy's house. They actually went to the grocery store like they told me they were going to go. Like, you might even go as far as to sit there and tell yourself, like, oh, like, well, I didn't catch them this time, but I'll catch them next time. And then the next time comes around, and then you think whatever you think, and then you're just like, ooh, got him, you know? And then it's like, you find out you didn't actually get him like you thought you were going to get him, and then you sit there and you tell yourself, well, I'll get him next time. And then, you know, the history just continues to repeat itself, you know? It's like, I don't know, dude. It's like you think you're on to them or something. I don't know. It's like you think you're on to them, but you're not, you know? Like, I don't know. It's weird to explain. Hopefully you get what I mean, you know? It's like you're constantly thinking that they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, like playing or deceiving you in some way, shape, or form, just to find out every single time that they're actually not doing anything, but being faithful to you and loyal to you. You know? Like when this person tells you, like, I'm going to go over here, they're actually going wherever it is that they're telling you they're going. If this person tells you, I'm going to go do this, like they're actually going to go off and do this, whatever this may be. You know what I mean? And it's like every time they do this, like they tell you, like, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go do that, you immediately like fall into this energy of, oh no, what they're really going to do is meet up with some girl or meet up with some guy, but they're not, you know? But they're not, you know? But they're not, you know. Can I just tell you how this person feels about you real quick? So the fact that we have the Emperor to the Empress out here, you know, it's a true pair situation. I mean, These two are very compatible to one another. These two work very, very well as a team. It is very rare for an empress to actually meet an emperor, just like it's very rare for an emperor to meet an empress, because these two are considered to be the total package. Okay, you're considered to be the total package, so are they. And the reason why it's so rare for these two to come into contact with one another, and it's more likely to see these two paired to, like, a King of Wands, for example, or like a Queen of Wands, for example, is because these two are primarily always like married and are cooped up with someone, because again, these people are considered to be the total package. You know what I mean? And that's just that. So this is kind of why it's very rare to see an empress meet an emperor, and then the two of you go off and build a life with one another. It's more common to see like an empress get involved with like a King of Wands, or like, if the empress gets lucky, like, like a I don't know, King of Swords like energy or something like that. So with all of that being said, I can't emphasize this enough. This person is very lucky and fortunate to have you in their life, just like you're very lucky and fortunate to have them in your life, because for one, you guys are very compatible to one another. You guys do work very well, as a team. This person possesses everything that you're looking for within a person, then some, vice versa. They bring just as much to the table as you do. The both of you complement one another, right? And this is why I'm saying it's like y'all are very blessed and fortunate to even have met one another, because it's just very rare to see a single empress meet a single emperor. Y'all come together and then build a life. It's just very rare to see this happen. So you guys are very blessed and fortunate enough to have one another. And the fact that you guys are so similar in your ways just makes the relationship that much more better. But yeah, it's like, I feel like this person has already accepted the fact that they hit the lotto with you. It kind of looks like we're waiting on you to accept that you hit the lotto with them at this point, from the looks of it. This person's very, very happy with you. Very happy with you. They feel complete with you. They feel whole with you. I mean, this person loves everything about you and their relationship with you. Like, all they see is you. All they want is you. Literally. And I just don't think that you believe that that's true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that you believe that that's actually true. Like, I'm pretty sure all you see is them and all you want is them, but your whole thing is, but I don't know if that's the case for them. Going back to like what I said in the very, very beginning, how does this person currently feel? Yeah, this person just knows. This person just knows you're the one. They just know you're the one. And they're clear on that. They're absolutely clear on that. This person knows what it's like. This person knows what it's like to be with somebody that you're not compatible with. This person knows what it's like to be with someone that you don't mesh very well with. This person knows, what it's like to be with somebody who doesn't value you or appreciate you. This person knows what it's like to be with somebody who doesn't compliment you. They know what it feels like to be with somebody that you just don't work well together as a team. They know what it feels like because they've been there and they've done that, just like you've been there and you've done that. See? So the fact that this person was blessed as well as fortunate enough to meet you, yeah, I mean, I understand why this person feels like they struck gold with you. I understand why this person feels like they hit the lotto with you, because they didn't think that they would end up with someone like you. They thought that chances are they were going to end up with someone that they're not really that compatible with, but they have like, 5 things that, this individual likes about that person. And, they thought they were going to end up with somebody that, they really didn't, get along with that well, but, whatever. Like, they thought that, they weren't going to find this at all. This being somebody that is so compatible to them, somebody that they feel so connected to, somebody that they feel like they resonate so well. They just didn't think that they were going to find this. So, again, this person's very blessed and fortunate enough to have someone like you in their life. And honestly, all they want to do is embrace this and just be happy, because this person is being presented an opportunity that most people wish they were presented with, you know? There's people out here that are like literally in marriages with people that are like literally the polar opposite of them. You know, there's people in marriages right now that are, you know, with somebody that, you know, they're not compatible with, they don't really get along with that. You know what I mean? It's like they don't have that problem. You know what I mean? With you. They get along with you. They resonate with you. And like I said, I just feel like this person understands what it's like to not have that. So to have that, like, yeah, like they feel very blessed and fortunate, you know? What actions will Aquarius take towards this person or moving forward? Okay, so we do have the 10 of Wands. We got the 7 of Pentacles, and then we also have the Judgment card. All right, so going back to what I originally said in the very beginning, this whole energy of you essentially feeling like, you know, you would be better off without this person than with this person in your life, because you know that if this person wasn't in your life, you wouldn't be as worried as you find yourself now dealing with them. The constant fear of one day them betraying you or deceiving you or, you know, playing you, right? With Judgment to the 7 of Pentacles coming out here, because you've already invested a lot of time and energy towards this connection between the two of you thus far, you want it to count for something. I am definitely getting that. Like, you don't want to feel like you just invested all of this time and all of this energy for nothing, right? But at the same exact time, you also don't want to continue to deal with this constant fear that one day they're going to play you, one day they're going to betray you, one day they're going to deceive you, one day they're going to do this, then the third to you, because that is weighing you down. That is weighing you down. Now, with Judgment coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you are still very indecisive of what you want to actually do in the end, whether that's to continue to remain with them or not. I don't know why, but I feel like I have to look at Judgment real quick. Tell me more about Judgment. Okay. We have the Fool, we have the 7 of Cups, and then we also have the Hierophant. Okay. I feel like Spirit has been trying to get you to see this for quite some time now. Like, for quite some time now. So that's kind of telling me you've been dealing with this person for quite some time now. Because I am specifically getting that Spirit has been trying to get you to specifically see this for quite some time now, but also accept this for quite some time now. It just kind of looks like you haven't. With the Hierophant coming out here, the Hierophant speaks of commitment and, you know, devotion. It could also basically represent marriage. I feel like Spirit has been trying to get you to see that even though you think what you think about this person, you believe what you believe about this person, doesn't necessarily make it true. I mean, we could think anything about somebody. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. We could believe whatever we want to believe about whoever. It doesn't make it true. You see what I mean? It doesn't make it true. So with that being said, I feel like that's what Spirit's trying to get you to see, is that what you believe about this person is not true. What you think about this person is not true. And I feel like that's what Spirit has been trying to like reveal to you for quite some time now. But it's this constant like, well, I didn't get them this time, but then but I know that I'll get them next time. And then the next time comes around and you're just like, well, they weren't doing anything that time, but I'm pretty sure maybe next time they're going to do X, Y, and Z to me. And then the next time comes around, and then it's like the same thing happens over and over and over and over and over again. It's like at some point, bro, come on. Let's be honest. At some point, you know, like, when do you stop and tell yourself, like, maybe, just maybe, the reason why you haven't caught this person cheating on you, betraying you, or, you know, deceiving you is because maybe, just maybe, they're actually very committed and devoted to you and loyal to you. This is an option you've never actually considered. That's the thing, right? It's like, this is an option you've never actually considered. You've considered like every other thing but this, you know? Like maybe you went as far as to think, okay, well, you know, they're not playing me, but, you know, maybe they're just in my life because they're trying to use me. For what? I don't know. You can't even say that. Now that I think about that, I'm so glad that the Empress popped up in my head and my eyes went directly towards, you know, this Chariot energy, which basically is the Emperor. You can't even say that this person is basically using you. You can't even say that, because these are, you are dealing with somebody of your caliber, just like they are dealing with someone of their caliber. You bring just as much to the table as they do. Okay, this is an equal give and take relationship. You're not doing more than them and they're not doing more than you. This is an equal give and take relationship. So we can't even really say that either. You know what I mean? We can't even really say that either. Because you can't sit here and, no, there's not, no. You can't sit here and say this person's taking advantage of you or using you. Because this is an equal give and take relationship. You're dealing with somebody of your caliber. So we can't really say that. I'm trying to think of what else you could possibly think of on your end. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you've kind of thought of every potential reason, I guess, as to why this person's really in your life, besides like the obvious reason, which is the reason why they're here is because they love you, they're committed to you, they're devoted to you. And if this was Burger King, have it their way, homie, they would love to spend the rest of their life with you. But it's like, this is the only option you never actually considered. You considered everything else, you know. Oh, well, I mean, I didn't catch them cheating on me, you know what I mean? So maybe they're cheating on me, but maybe they're with me because they're using me. And you know, you can't even say that. Or maybe they're with me because they're just pining after me for a good old time. You can't even say that. Or maybe they're with me because, I don't know, you know, whatever else you can possibly think of. That no, that's just not the case. It's just not the case. It's not the case. It's just not the case. It's not the case. It's just not the. And that's another thing too, right? It's like, if you thought, like, and I'm pretty sure you probably thought this in the very beginning, if you thought that this person was just pining after you for a good old time, nothing more, nothing less, I think that time has already revealed to you that this person wasn't just pining after you for a good old time, nothing more, nothing less, because they're still here. So we can't even say that, you know what I mean? This whole like, well, I just think that they're with me because they're trying to take advantage of me. I feel like time has already revealed to you that they're not with you to take advantage of you. You know, so you can't even say that. I'm trying to like figure out what this obsession is that you have with but why are they with me? Why are they with me then? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are they with me then? It's like, what do you, I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why are they with you? What do you mean? That's my thing. And it's just like, I want to see something really quickly here. I had a feeling that's what it was, because I'm just like, I wonder if you see yourself the way that they see you, because I'm just like, maybe that's what's going on. Like maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's what's going on here, which I find it to be very interesting, because we have the moon. We have the moon here, and then we also have the strength card here. And the person that's in the strength card is basically the Empress. And you are an Empress. You are an Empress. With the moon coming out here, the moon could definitely speak of, yeah, the moon can definitely speak of there being a lack of clarity on your behalf. It could also represent being blind to something. Aquarius, I'm starting to kind of think that the reason why you're even doing this and why this is even going on in your life, because at first I'm just like, okay, it could have a lot to do with this ex, which I'm not going to take that off the table. Maybe it does, you know? But it could have a lot to do with your ex and what they led you to basically believe about yourself. Does that make sense? Like, this ex of yours could have led you to basically believe you're not good enough. And you're this Aquarius and you're that Aquarius. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what this person said to you. I mean, like I said, this person could have just made you feel very insecure within yourself. This person could have just made you feel like you just simply weren't good enough. This person could have made you feel undesirable. That's, you know, another possibility, because it's like, I had a feeling that it has a lot. I just had this overwhelming feeling that it has a lot to do with the fact that you just don't see yourself the way everybody else looks at you. You are blind to that. And I feel like it has a lot to do with your experience with this King of Wands. Like, I feel like this King of Wands led you to think and believe that you're not good enough, and that, you know, you're never going to be good enough, and, you know, you're not attractive, and, you know, you're never gonna like amount to anything, and nobody's ever gonna want you. It's like, I beg to fucking differ. Like, excuse me, you're showing up as a whole damn empress. And this is where you and we gonna have to have a BFF moment really quickly. I'm just gonna have to go off on you a little bit. The fact that if this is what's happening, Aquarius, let me just say something to you. If this did occur where this person allowed you to feel less about yourself, or make you feel insecure to the point where you can't even see yourself the way everybody sees you, which is basically the fucking total package. I'm kind of upset here, because all of this is coming from a King of Wands like energy. There's fucking levels to this. So we have the King of Wands that comes out first, King of Swords that follows, and then that's when we hit the King of Cups status, King of Pentacles status, and that's when we hit the Emperor status. You mean to tell me you mean to tell me that you really believe this shit? Like, you really fucking believe this shit about you? Like, you really believe that you're not good enough because this one who literally isn't good enough told you so? Because like I said, there's levels to this. And the King of Wands is the first king that comes out first. And then the King of Swords follows, King of Cups follows, King of Pentacles follows, and then we have the Emperor that follows, which is somebody who's on your level, because the Emperor and the Empress, they go together. These two people are on each other's level. So the fact that you allowed this one, who is literally beneath you, to make you think whatever you thought about yourself, or believe whatever it is that you thought about yourself, I mean, come, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know if you know this, but when the and this is kind of why an Empress being a king with a King of Wands just simply doesn't work, right? Because when a King of Wands gets involved with an Empress, that Empress basically reflects back to them everything that they wish they were, and everything that they know that they'll probably never be. And this is why when the King and the Queen of Wands come together, it never works out. It never works out. It just never freaking works out. This is why the King and the Queen of Wands, you know, has such a very toxic and unhealthy relationship, because, and it's primarily because the King of Wands, when they get involved with an Empress, man, it's like they're constantly being reminded every day they see that Empress, how that Empress is better than them, and how they'll never be as good as this Empress. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's why things over time tends to get toxic between these two. This is why it never works out between these two. You know, the King of Wands being with an Empress makes the King of Wands feel less than. It makes them feel inadequate. It makes them feel insecure. This is why I'm sure, you know what I mean? I am so sure that when this person got with you, they made it their only mission and priority to tear down your confidence. Because when you got with this person, you were confident. With the Strength card coming out here, that basically represents somebody who's very confident with it. When you got with them, you were confident within yourself. You knew that you were the shit and then some. And they turned around and led you to believe that that just simply wasn't the case. But it's not that it's because that wasn't the case. It's just that they know. They fucking know, right? That they're not all that in a bag of chips. So, yeah, with that being said, they led you to basically think and believe that you're not. They were projecting their insecurities onto you, and you turned around and you internalized it. You turned around and internalized it, and you turned around and believed it. And I feel like this is why this is happening here, and this dynamic here between you and this person. Because honestly, I don't know what else. It just, yeah, basically, this person doesn't tear you down like this person over here. They don't do that shit to you. They don't tear you down. They don't make you feel less than. They make you feel like you're everything that they could ever basically want within a person and then some. Because that's how they really feel about you. Unlike this fool over here that you were dealing with that, you know, made it their only mission and priority to make you feel less than. Because you were everything that they knew they would never be. They knew you were 10 times better than them when they got with you. They knew that. And that made them feel less than. That made them feel inadequate. That made them feel insecure. And that's why they made you believe what they made you believe about yourself. You know? I think that, you know, another thing too, Aquarius, it's like, I feel like Spirit just wants you to like see that you're allowing this fool that you were dealing with to continue to affect you, and they're not even around anymore. They're not even around anymore. Like, I will understand if you were still dealing with this person and you still going through things because you're still dealing with this person. All right, that's one thing. They're not even around anymore, Aquarius. They're not even around anymore, and you're still letting them affect you. You're giving this person power over you that they do not possess. That's what you're doing. And only you can like put that to an end by just accepting the fact that, for one, this whole like you not seeing your own value and your own worth and your own like beauty because of what this fool told you or led you to believe, like, that needs to stop. You know, like, nobody has to tell you this. You know you better than this ex of yours. You know that you are. You know that you are. You know that you are. You just need to just accept that already and stop, you know, believing all of these things, you know, because now it has you looking at them like, well, why are you with me? And the only reason why you're asking those questions is because of whatever it is that this person told you or tried to, you know, lead you to essentially think and believe about yourself, which is completely and utterly false. This is just them projecting their own shit onto you. I hope you know that, you know what I mean? But also accepting the fact that this person is nothing like your ex. You're not dating your ex. You're dating a whole new human, you know? You know what I mean? What actions will this person take towards Aquarius or moving forward? So we have the Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and then we also have the Knight of Cups, and then we have the King of Swords out here. Okay. In regards to how this person plans on moving forward, I feel like there will come a point in time where you will stop fighting this truth already. Okay. There will come a point in time where you will stop fighting this truth. Now, when is this going to occur and or happen? Well, that really honestly does depend on you, because this could happen today if you want it to, or this could happen tomorrow if you want it to. This could happen whenever you want it to. But it starts with you accepting the fact that you're not dating your ex. You're dating somebody who's completely and utterly different from this ex of yours. And this whole, whatever it is that this ex led you to think and believe about yourself was it was just simply them projecting their own shit onto you, and you turned around and you internalized it and believed it. Okay? You do not, like, I wish that you can see yourself through this person's eyes, and then I think that you'll understand then. But we all know you can't do that. But it's like, you're everything anybody could ever want within a person and then some. And it's just so unfortunate and sad that, like, you're walking around and you're not embracing that. You know what I mean? And that, and there's not a lot of empresses out there, just like there's not a lot of emperors out there. These are like rare humans out, that are hard. Like, these people are very hard to find, because honestly, most of them just don't really, there's just not a lot of empresses out there. Just not a lot of emperors out there. There is just not. So it's like, I can't emphasize this to you enough. It is rare to come into contact with an empress, just like it's rare to come into contact with an emperor. It's just rare. It is rare. It's more common to run into like every other court card than an emperor or an empress. You see what I mean? So they, you know what, the likelihood of them essentially finding an empress like yourself, not to say that it's impossible, but they're gonna spend, you know, years out of their life trying to find, you know, someone like you, because you're the total package. You could do it all. You know, they might find more than likely somebody who's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, you know, of you and what you bring to the table. But why the fuck would anybody do that? Like, why would you want to leave gold for trash? You know what I mean? It doesn't make no logical sense why anybody would honestly do that. You wouldn't do that. Your person wouldn't do that. So this constant, like, them leaving you or playing you with somebody else, like, to lose you, though? To lose the total package for somebody who's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of who you are? Like, that just doesn't seem like a really good deal. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like a really good deal, you know? I just, this whole, like, them playing you or whatever the case, that's just not the case. Sorry. It's just not the case. And I think that eventually you'll accept that and stop fighting that truth. And only then will you get to really experience this connection in the same ways they've been able to experience this connection with you to the fullest. Because you haven't been able to really experience this connection to the fullest because of this constant, well, I just think this and I just think that. And no. You got somebody who loves you. I think it's just time for you to accept that already. All right. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.